Here's how shorter men can start going on Hinge dates this week. All right, boys, welcome to another installment of Short Guy Game. And in today's episode, I'll be covering exactly how shorter men can finally unlock an abundant dating life by using Hinge. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if you're 5'5" or even if you're 6'5". When a woman feels genuine burning desire for a man, all these little nitpicky rules that she's had in place for other men she's dated in the past immediately go out the window, and you now become the exception to her rules because she actually is attracted to you. So by the end of this presentation, you will know exactly how to curate your profile so you become the exception to the height standards that women set, and you're now effortlessly matching with beautiful women every single day and scheduling dates each week. So here's exactly how you're going to become the exception to the height standards that women set. But before I tell you how to become that man, it's important to know about some of the lives I've changed. So this right here is my boy Sean, and Sean is only 5'4". He lives in India, and before coming to me, he was convinced because he was Indian and short that women were never going to desire him. So he came to me for help. And first things first, we helped adjust his mindset and change his way of thinking. But then we curated his dating app profile to actually cater towards the female gaze. And now he's effortlessly matching with girls every single day. In fact, in this screenshot right here, he got 5 likes in one day with girls that were actually his type. And a lot of them were messaging him first, wanting to go out with him. Now he's effortlessly landing dates through Hinge every single week, which has actually given him the external validation to not only get dates through dating apps, but to actually approach women in real life and get dates through cold approach, all because he decided to stop playing the victim and play with the cards he was dealt. So in order to become that man that women desire, you have to first accept that your height is no longer an issue and you're going to work with what you got. So our next step is to understand the statistics around height and dating. So do the stats live. So debunking the dating app height standards. So this graph right here shows that on Bumble, 70% of women have their height filters set in their settings at 6 feet and above, meaning that if you are below 6 foot, you are not even going to be shown in the feed or on the women's algorithm because you're literally blocked out from their filters. But what this study doesn't tell you is in order to have access to height filters on any of the dating apps, Bumble, Hinge, Tinder, whatever, you actually have to pay for the premium service. And if you know anything about women, they don't pay for the premium service on dating apps because they simply don't need to, because these girls get hundreds of matches every single week. Some of these girls get hundreds of matches per day. So there's literally no reason for them to actually pay for the premium service, meaning you actually don't have anything to worry about. Because I know this study says 70% of women, but of that 70%, that's probably really only 20%, probably less of the actual female population on Bumble. So it's actually not a problem at all. And we now need to understand why most men struggle with online dating. So this graph right here shows that women match with 36% of those they like, while men match with less than 2%. And there was another study, I couldn't find it, but the average man on Tinder has to swipe 50 times before he can even get a match, let alone a match that he's probably even attracted to. You might relate to that study, right? But what I want you to understand is with this information, the reason you're struggling, it's not because you're shadow banned. It's not the algorithm. It's not that these companies are preying on weak, insecure men and they want your money. It's not because the women have unrealistic standards, and it's not because you're short. It's because the average man doesn't know how to curate his profile in an attractive way that actually sparks female interest. In fact, the average man's profile looks something like this. So this is my boy Francisco, and he came to me about a month ago to get help with his dating app profile. So I helped him audit it. Now, looking at these photos, you might think, oh, that's not a bad profile. He's a good looking guy. Why is he not getting any matches? Well, the reason he was only getting 1 match a week is for multiple reasons. So just starting off with this first photo on paper, you might think, oh, this is a really good photo. He's traveling. It looks like he's somewhere in Europe. He has like the nice jacket on. He's a handsome guy. But the first problem with this photo is he's not even looking at the camera. He's not even looking at the camera. So the girls have no idea what he actually looks like. When women use dating apps, you really only have half a second to a second to stop her attention before she swipes no on you, because she's not going to take the time to figure out what you look like. So it's critical that in your first photo, she can clearly see what you look like, so she actually wants to match with you. The next mistake in this photo is, keep in mind, he's only 5'6", maybe 5'5", I forget. He was on the shorter side, but there's all this extra space above his head, right? Which is a big issue because, one, that's just not very aesthetically pleasing from a photography standpoint, but also it makes him look shorter than he is. So when you take dating app photos, you want to make sure that you're actually taking up space in the frame of the photo. So you need to either zoom it in or make sure that whoever's taking the photo doesn't have a bunch of extra space above your head. Now, the mistake with this photo, sure, he's in shape. His arms are big, but a mirror selfie like this is just lazy. It's not putting in enough effort into his profile, and a woman isn't going to see this and actually be interested. It would be much better if he just took a picture like out, going for a hike or something, wearing like the nice tank top showing his arms. And then a selfie with the dog just isn't going to cut it. Sure, women like dogs, but a selfie like this just isn't going to cut it. You have to put genuine effort into your profile so she actually wants to match with you. And I'll teach you exactly how to do that in this presentation, so you don't have to worry about only getting 1 to 2 matches a week. So it's fair to say, if you do what every other guy does, you'll end up like every other guy. No matches in your inbox to show for yourself. A lot of you guys, your Hinge inbox probably looks something like this. I review dozens and dozens of profiles every single week. And so many guys tell me on Instagram, man, I'm only getting 1 match a week. I'm only getting 2 matches a week. I've even had guys who are 6'4" come to me telling me they're not getting any matches. They get 1 match a month and it doesn't translate into anything. They never go on a date, which just goes to show, even if you magically woke up 6'4" tomorrow morning, you would still struggle with dating. It has nothing to do with your height. It has to do with your online presentation, which I'm going to teach you exactly how to curate over these next couple slides. So what you need to understand is online dating isn't hard because you're short. Online dating is hard because you don't have a proper system in place. And when you have a proper system in place, you can expect results like this. Dating becomes far more predictable rather than unpredictable. Like right here, I get attractive women liking my photos every single day. I get girls choosing up on me like this, coming off with like really bold statements like this. I constantly hit the match limit. Hinge only lets you have 8 matches in your inbox at a time, and then you can't accept any new likes or matches. And I get hit with that just about every single day. I get girls telling me how handsome I am. Girls literally finding my social medias when they're not even linked in my dating app profiles. My inbox constantly looks like this. And then when I post pictures on social media, I'll even get more girls liking my photos than guys, which just shows the power of having a, online presentation that's curated towards female attraction. And in case you were wondering, yes, my height is in my bio. Now, I know in the beginning of this video, I said I'm only 5'6", and it says 5'7". But little pro tip for you boys, always add an extra inch or 2 to your height, because everyone on dating apps lies about their height. You just got to play to win the game. Even the guys who are 6 foot will put 6'2", maybe even 6'3". So you just got to play to win the game. That's just how it goes. Just don't bullshit about it too much. Like if you're 5'8", don't put 6 foot, because then when you meet her, she's going to be incredibly disappointed and she's going to feel catfish. It'd be just like if you matched with a girl and she looked like a model in her photos and then she shows up to the date with a double chin. You would never want to see her again. And that's exactly how she's going to feel when she sees that you're nowhere near the height you set. Now, 5'7", that's about my height in shoes. I could probably put 5'8" if I wanted to, but just put whatever your height is in shoes, maybe add an extra inch at most. Just don't go too crazy with it. And despite the fact that I'm only 5'6", I'm still pulling in about 25 to 30 matches a week on Hinge. And that's not even counting Facebook dating and Bumble. When we count in other dating apps in the picture, I'm easily matching with over 100 girls every single week. And I want to make it clear, I'm not just talking about the 4s and the 5s. I'm talking about genuinely attractive women that are my type, girls that you never thought you stood a chance with. And by the end of this presentation, you will know exactly how you can match with those girls too, despite the fact that you might only be 5'4", 5'6", or whatever. So here's exactly how you're going to become her exception. Allow me to introduce to you my online inbound attraction system. The online inbound attraction system is the dating system I created that will allow you to go from being invisible on dating apps to effortlessly matching with 15 to 20 attractive girls every single week on Hinge. So the way I treat this system is it's just like sales, right? Sales, you get leads. And women are the leads, and you're going to be able to nurture these leads so they actually want to be able to go on dates with you because of the way your profile's set up. They're going to see the nice pictures you have. They're going to get a taste of who you are as a person and what all you like to do, and they're going to want to be a part of that. Essentially, you are the product and she is the customer, and she's choosing to buy from you instead of all of your competition. And now you no longer have to stress about how you're going to get your next date. You no longer have to worry about doing cold approach at the mall or going to the bar and having to take a shot just to have the confidence to approach a girl, or even worse, having to rely on coworkers or friends of friends to introduce you to someone that you don't even click with in the first place. No, now you're going to be able to effortlessly log onto a dating app any day of the week and match with beautiful women that want to go out with you. So I'll show you exactly how to do that now. So when you're curating your dating app profile, the first thing you need to understand is that your dating app profile is your dating app resume. I gave you the analogy earlier about how we are the product and she is the customer. Well, this is a similar concept because think about it. When you apply for a job, you make yourself look as qualified as possible, or at least I hope you do, for the role so you can secure the interview and hopefully get hired for the job. Well, aren't we doing the exact same thing here with our dating app profile? Are we not trying to present ourselves in the most attractive way possible so she feels a bit of intrigue and interest and attraction and wants to go out with us and maybe eventually turn that into something else? Is it not the same thing? The date is the job interview, and you becoming in a relationship is the job, essentially, right? I mean, some relationships might feel like a job, but what you have to understand, in order to craft your digital dating resume in the most attractive way possible so you start getting matches and you start getting more likes, is that your photos are what's going to make or break your experience with online dating. I remember what I talked about earlier about how Francisco, he's not a bad looking guy, but his photos just weren't on point. They didn't do him justice. And when girls swipe on dating apps, you only have about half a second to grab her attention before she swipes no. Otherwise, you're going to get lost in all the other profiles she swiped no on. So it's very important that you take high quality portrait style photos that present yourself in the most attractive way possible so you stand out amongst all the other guys you're competing against. And the good news for you is, like I said, most guys don't know how to curate their profile in an attractive way, which is why the statistics aren't in men's favor with online dating. So the competition is actually very, very low, which is why I'm able to be so successful with online dating despite being only 5'6". So you've probably heard the saying that only the guys in the top 20% are actually getting all the matches and going on dates. And here's what the guys of the top 20% understand. They already know that your photos need to be good. But what they really understand that really allows them to excel and get into matchmaker overdrive is that your photos need to be catered towards the female gaze. And I've been talking about that this whole presentation, but let me show you kind of like what happens when you actually finally do that. So when your profile is catered towards the female gaze, you're going to start getting far more matches and likes than you even know what to do with. And in order to cater towards the female gaze, your photos need to give her a taste of your lifestyle. So an important element of having a good photo is obviously you need to be attractive. You need to be handsome. It's a looks-based game. I'm not going to lie to you. So if you're not very handsome yet, just take some time to work on yourself and then get some photos. But she needs to clearly see what you look like. You need to look put together. You need to be wearing a nice outfit, but you also have to give her a taste of your lifestyle. Right? Show her what you like to do for fun. Have pictures of you traveling. Have pictures of you on vacation. Have pictures of you at that nice rooftop. Have a picture of you at the club, at the bar, doing stuff you like to do so she can get a taste of who you are and actually imagine herself on a date with you. If you know anything about women, They love to imagine. They love to fantasize things. And if you can get her top of mind about you, you're going to be her first pick because she's literally imagining herself in your lifestyle, right? And the way you really put this into overdrive is to make it to where she can imagine herself literally on a date with you, right? I mean, that's why this photo right here is my most liked photo. And I'll show you what that photo looks like in a second so you can literally just copy me. But what you have to understand is when she's imagining herself on a date with you just from your photos alone, this pre-nurtures her leading up to the date where she already feels like she knows you and she's more comfortable around you because she's already like visualized herself having a life with you. And by the time you meet her, she's so much more comfortable around you. It's already done most of the rapport and you don't have to feel like you have to like open her up a bit because she's actually excited to be around you. Like the way she's going to hug you tightly when you meet, the conversations y'all are going to have, the way she's going to like play footsies with you under the table or grab your arms or just flirt with you is going to be far different than anything you've ever experienced before on a date. So let me show you exactly how you can take this photo so you can literally just copy me and start getting dates this week. So this is literally my most liked photo on Hinge. And you can just copy this, just screenshot it and implement this exact type of photo. And the reason this photo does so well is for multiple reasons. One, I'm a handsome dude. But two, you can clearly see what I look like. My face is straight on the camera. There's no questioning what my face might look like. Like it's very obvious and you can clearly see what I look like. And also, my hair looks nice. My eyebrows are done. My beard, my goatee's lined up. I'm wearing the nice sweater. Like I look very, very put together here. But what really makes this photo so powerful is it's like she's sitting across the booth with me on a date at a nice restaurant. Women love going to nice restaurants. Women love sitting in booths. And if she can imagine herself sitting across a booth with another handsome man, you're going to instantly stand out amongst all the other profiles she's swiping on Hinge, right? No other guy is doing this. Like you are literally going to be her top pick because this is going to be the best photo she's seen, but she's also going to see how attractive you are. And she's going to literally imagine herself on a date with you, which is going to pre-nurture her leading up to the date, building more rapport than you can even do with the little bit of small talk you have to do over the dating app or when you first meet her on the date. And the way she's going to hug you, like I said, is going to be so tight. She's going to be so excited to be around you. It's going to be like nothing you've ever experienced before in your life. So you have matches now. Here's how we're actually going to convert these matches into dates. Because as you might know, getting the match is only half the battle. You still have to get her on a date. And this is where most guys slip up because they don't understand two fundamental principles when texting girls, specifically on dating apps. And the first principle that guys don't understand is that you have to move quickly. You have to move with speed. Otherwise, you're going to get left behind. Because like I said earlier, these girls are getting inundated, flooded with dozens of matches every single day. So if you don't move fast enough, you're going to get buried in all the other profiles in her inbox. So your job is to move as quickly as possible so you can get to setting up the date, which leads me to the second point, which is you have to be intentional with every text you send. Every text needs to be progressing things forward to the end goal. And I need you to honestly ask yourself, what is that end goal? Why are you texting this girl? Why are you on a dating app? Why did you match with her? Because you want to take her on a date. You want to go out with her. But most guys beat around the bush. They send dozens of texts before they even consider asking for her Instagram, not even her number. And then they get left on red or they get unmatched and they throw a fit. No, this is literally your fault. This is your fault. So I wanted to pull up this text that I saw on Reddit. This guy was complaining that texting girls was hard. But like, if you read this conversation, he's literally just talking about another guy that she went out with, which is just pathetic. Like, why would you talk about another guy that girls have gone out with? When you text a girl, everything needs to be with the intention of moving things forward so you can plan a date with her and actually meet her. You can chit chat with her on the date. Texting isn't to get to know her. You don't need to build rapport. And if you feel like you have to build a bunch of rapport with her on dating apps, she's just not that into you. That either tells you that you're not that attractive or that your profile isn't that good. Because if you had a good profile, that would build the majority of the rapport, like I told you earlier, and girls would be very open to meeting you. So if you feel like you have to text girls for hours, days, weeks on end before meeting them, they're not that into you, and you need to cut your loss and reevaluate your dating strategy and look at your profile for ways you can improve, because there's no reason you should be texting these girls for days on end about random stuff. Again, the conversations you're having like this, I'm not saying talk about other dudes, but talking about her day, what she does for work, stuff like that, save it for the date, right? This is when you actually get to know her, and it'll be way more natural and better when you're actually like having like the sparks of emotion, when you're having conversations face to face, looking each other in the eyes, like feeling each other's emotions, laughing and having a good time. Don't do that over the text. Save texting for setting up dates. That is the purpose of texting. And to make this even clearer for you, because every guy gets this wrong, let me show you how simple this is. This is how girls want to be texted. So this girl opened me first. I had in my prompt, you should not go out with me if you can't handle Italian men. And now she goes, now I'm curious what it's like to handle an Italian. And I go, Latina and Italian. This should be interesting, right? So what's key with that text message is I'm already alluding to the idea of us going on a date together, right? I didn't directly say it, but I'm putting it in our mind, because remember, women like to imagine things. They like to fantasize. And then she goes, we should find out. So she's falling into my frame. She's complying to what I said. And I go, you're bold. Me gusta. You live in the Dallas area. I'm confirming her area just to make sure she's actually in my location. That way I can set up a date with her. And she goes, yes, I am. And I go, perfect. We should go out soon. Text me so I can set the plans. And she texted me, we set the plans, and the rest was history. It's that simple. You do not need to overcomplicate anything. Like, this is literally just 6 text messages back and forth. It is that quick. It is that easy. And if girls are not complying to this, they're just not that into you. And again, that's probably a reflection of you or your profile if that's consistently happening to you on a regular basis. But again, you always need to move fast and with intention. But that's literally how you text girls. It is that simple. It is not complicated. All you have to do is make sure you're progressing to the date. So that's how you start landing more matches and receiving more likes and setting up dates. So now you understand that dating apps are not rigged, right? Your profile just wasn't optimized. Women really don't have unrealistic standards. Like I said, I'm 5'6", and I get dozens of matches every single week. I've helped guys, like I showed you earlier in my video, who are 5'4", 5'8", and they're getting plenty of matches. They're going on dates, right? The difference between you and them is they know how to actually curate their profile towards female attraction so they can actually get high interest matches and convert those into dates. So now you understand that height was never the issue. You just didn't know how to present yourself in an attractive way. Remember what I told you. Your dating app profile is your dating app resume. So you need to curate this resume in the most attractive way possible so she can imagine herself in your life and actually want to go on a date with you, right? And that's what the guys in the top 20% like me understand. You need to cater towards the female gaze. She should get a taste of who you are, what you like to do, what your lifestyle is like, so she can picture herself in your life and stay top of mind, and you're beating all the other competition who isn't doing that. And when you go on a date with her, like I said, she's pre-nurtured and she already feels like she knows you because she's gotten so much of a taste of who you are through your pictures and your prompts that literally she's like excited to go out with you. She's excited to be with you, and it makes for a really, really good date. So to convert these matches, lastly, like I said, you have to understand that you have to be quick and intentional. So go back to those texting portions of this video and study how I texted these girls so you can make the same, so you can literally just copy me and start converting your matches into dates. So what now? Considering you made it this far into the video, that tells me 2 things. Number 1, you have a top 1% attention span. Like, you just made it through a 30-minute long presentation of me talking about how to set up your dating app profile in autistic levels of detail, right? Showing graphs, studies, the psychology, how to text these girls. Like, there was no edits, there was no cuts, no music, just me talking over a PowerPoint with text and pictures. So good for you. The second thing that tells me is you believe solving your dating life is actually possible as a shorter man, and that you actually are capable of achieving results just like me and the guys that I've helped, right? Because what I always like to say is that your mindset will dictate your reality. And I don't mean that in some like spiritual, like new agey kind of thing. Just think about it logically. If you think something's possible, you're going to do everything in your power to ensure it can happen. Your actions are going to correlate with it, right? So if you believed you were capable of being a millionaire, you would make the right investments. You would work more hours. You would start a business, right? You would do everything you could. But with your dating life, you know what to do now. All you have to do is take action, and it's up to you how you want to handle that from here. You can keep doing what you have been. You can implement what I taught you from this video, and it will certainly work. It'll certainly help. The guys who watch my YouTube videos make incredible results. They get dates literally within the same week. I give you all the tools. I give you all the information. But if you really want to take this to the next level, so you can remove all the guesswork, so you can make progress as quickly and as thoroughly as possible, so you can move on to bigger and better things, and you no longer have to stress about your dating life. You can be held by the hand by someone who's literally been in your shoes and knows every thought you have and knows how to conquer every little bit of self-limiting belief you're dealing with. I have an offer for you, but this isn't for everyone. If you really are a driven person and you're serious about making a change with your dating life, click the top link in the description of this video. I'd like you to apply to work for my one-on-one mentorship, where you can be in a community of other like-minded men working towards the same thing as you, but also being mentored by me, where we'll help optimize your whole online dating strategy so you can start getting matches with attractive women that are actually your type, and you no longer have to settle for girls that you don't really like. You no longer have to settle with getting 1 to 2 matches a week. You no longer have to settle having to rely on cold approach or being introduced to a girl through a friend of a friend. You can just log onto a dating app and experience the inbound attraction that I teach in my online inbound attraction system. So if that's something you're interested in, if you're done wasting your time, you really want to take this to the next level, you're serious, you're ready to move on from your dating life because you know you're capable of more, you just need additional guidance, you want that one-on-one mentorship, click the top link in the description of this video. You can apply to work with me. We'll hop on a call. And if you seem like a good fit, I'll onboard you. We'll work together. We'll audit your dating app profile, your current dating strategy, and I'll put you in a community with a bunch of other like-minded men, and we'll start working together to ensure this is a possibility. But that's it for this video, boys. I hope you enjoyed. Like, subscribe. If you have any questions, just shoot me a DM on Instagram. I reply to all my DMs. But if you really are interested in working with me, top link in the description. I look forward to talking to you soon. See you in the next video. Peace.